we are, as I said, waiting on him. And as we wait for that, I want to go right now to Jerusalem, to our very own correspondent there, Jordan Powell of Fox News. Forgive me, Connor Powell. You know, this is, as we've been saying, a very powerful bomb, Connor. If you compare this to what we sent over into Syria, the Tomahawk missiles are 1,000 pounds each. This is 21,600 pounds. What kind of damage can it do?
So this bomb, this Moab, as they describe it, it's a massive ordnance air blast. It's designed specifically to penetrate into underground caverns, into tunnels, and that's exactly what the Pentagon and Afghan officials that we were just talking to here in the last few minutes are saying. This area was used by ISIS to attack both U.S. and Afghan forces in the area. It's a series of tunnels and caves, much like what you heard back in 2001 that Osama bin Laden was using the Tora Bora region as his sort of base of operations there. This is a really cavernous area, and this Moab, this 21,000-pound device, was used specifically there because of these tunnels and these caves. It's very different than what we saw used in Syria, which were these Tomahawk cruise missiles. They're really specifically there to pinpoint. The Moab has about a 1-mile blast radius. We were talking to Afghans who said they could hear it from miles and miles away. They could feel it from miles away. This was a really big blast that really was to target and to take out the entire cave system, not just a specific entrance or area. This was really to sort of wipe the entire area off the map. Afghans that we just talked to are saying that this is an area that was known to have a significant ISIS presence there. It's not a civilian area. They don't describe it as having any towns or little villages there. It really is up in the mountains and a lot of caves and a lot of bunkers, Trish.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, thank you so much, Connor. We appreciate the update.
Not just a symbolic weapon, it is a very powerful weapon, and it is clearly, I mean, I don't have in front of me right now what the radius of such a bomb blast would be, but it is, this is a massive piece of ordnance. There's a reason that the Air Force refers to it as the mother of all bombs. And yes, it is the largest weapon in the Air Force arsenal short of a nuclear weapon.
Jennifer, it's Melissa Francis. Really quickly, I mean, put that in context for us. When's the last time in this region we've done something like this? So for our audience, you can think about how significant it is versus what we've been doing recently in the area, because it's a big deal, right?
Oh, it's a big deal. It's hard to really... First of all, they've never done, the U.S. military has never done anything of this magnitude in Afghanistan. In fact, there have been a move in recent years away from combat operations. Remember, U.S. forces have basically been supporting Afghan forces as they fight house to house. They, in fact, limited airstrikes for many years because they didn't want civilian casualties, which can lead to the recruitment of more anti-American and anti-government forces. And so it is really somewhat head-scratching as to why such a massive bomb would be used at this moment in time, other than, of course, the fact that we know that in this area a Green Beret was killed on Saturday.
So, Jennifer, as we try to wrap our minds around this, you just said that this has never been used in Afghanistan. Has it ever been, I mean, this 21,000-pound bomb, I mean, it's really hard to conceptualize this.
Yes.
The first it's been used, it was tested back in 2003, you said.
Yes, it was tested in March of 2003. That's when we first learned about this weapon being part of the arsenal. Again, there was a lot, think of the context of the time. Saddam Hussein, the Iraqi invasion was just underway. And, of course, there were concerns about Iran's nuclear program. But, no, it has never been used in combat before. So this is the first time the U.S. has used it in combat.
Wow. And do we have any word from the White House yet since we have learned of this?
No word from the White House and no word from the Defense Secretary here at the Pentagon. We have reached out. In fact, we're just scrambling now to speak to...
Is he there now, James Mattis, Jen?
He is. In fact, he's meeting right now with the Turkish Defense Minister. And again, you have to remember the geopolitical significance of what's going on in the world right now. You have Kim Jong-un on the eve of a very important anniversary in North Korea threatening to carry out a 6th nuclear test. He's been warned by China and the United States not to do so, but there is evidence that he is moving forward with that. There is very clear that this bomb in Afghanistan would send a signal to Kim Jong-un, as well as Bashar Assad. You have Bashar Assad on television from Syria today saying that the U.S. is concocting this story about chemical weapons in Syria. It is very clear that the use of this bomb at this time is not just to send a message to ISIS, but also to these rogue world leaders.
All right, Jennifer Griffin, live for us from the Pentagon with that breaking news. Thank you. All right, so to wrap this up, the U.S. has dropped the largest non-nuclear bomb, 21,000 pounds, in eastern Afghanistan. They call this the mother of all bombs. It's the largest non-nuclear bomb in our arsenal. We are going to stay on this story. We'll be right back.
Good afternoon. As many of you are aware, there's currently some news breaking out of Afghanistan, so I just want to give you a quick update. At around 7 p.m. local time in Afghanistan last night, the United States military used a GBU-43 weapon in Afghanistan. The GBU-43 is a large, powerful, and accurately delivered weapon. We targeted a system of tunnels and caves that ISIS fighters used to move around freely, making it easier for them to target U.S. military advisors and Afghan forces in the area. The United States takes the fight against ISIS very seriously, and in order to defeat the group, we must deny them operational space, which we did. The United States took all precautions necessary to prevent civilian casualties and collateral damage as a result of the operation. Any further details, I would refer you to the Department of Defense on